imagine. So I want to tell you a story. It's a very important story, especially as we are here in Great Britain. Long ago, in the Grail Castle, where both the Holy Grail and the Holy Lance of Longinus were kept in a chapel, a knight named Balin entered this castle. He entered in hospitality, but he was secretly there to kill one of the guests, and therefore betraying the ancient code that has held civilization together for millennia. After the murder, Balin was chased through the halls of the castle until he found himself in the Grail Chapel. So seeing the lance that had pierced the side of Christ and the cup that had received his blood, he was too blinded by his rage to discern the deepest purpose of these objects. Balin grabbed the lance and dealt a blow to the groin of the Grail King, making the king impotent and reducing the entire kingdom to a wasteland. We often think of the Holy Grail and the Holy Lance as these mystical objects, but there's a way, and a very important way, in which they are examples of technology. The Grail Cup was a vessel constantly filled with all that one could desire to eat and drink. It was the generator of abundance. And the lance, of course, was the weapon that had dealt the ultimate blow, piercing the God-man himself. These two objects contain the limit cases of technology, that towards which all technology leans. One side moves inward to the increase of abundance, and the other moves outward to the battles necessary to gain or protect that abundance. And from the dawn of time, these have been two main purposes of technology. The same piece of sharpened flint could till the soil or could kill my enemy. After the murder in the chapel, the Holy Grail was lost, and King Arthur's knights went on a quest to find it. We usually focus on the quest to find the Grail, but we often forget the most important part of the quest. The knight who finds the Holy Grail must ask a question. Whom does the Grail serve? The question is more important than the finding. The question and its answer is what will heal the wasteland. It is precisely this question that Balin forgot to ask when he grabbed the lance in his desire for power. He forgot to ask the question, whom does the Grail and the lance serve? Today, our world has come to celebrate those who find the Grail, the tech miracle, the new, the faster, the stronger thing. These discoveries make us more powerful, more efficient in generating abundance, and more efficient and powerful in killing our enemies. So we celebrate those who find the Grail. But who today is asking the Grail question? There are a few who ask the question. When Ross Douthat, who was here this morning, asked Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, why he named his hopeful tech essay Machines of Loving Grace, named after a poem in which humans lose their sovereignty and become like animals ruled over by machines. I think Ross was asking the Grail question. When Jonathan Haidt wrote The Anxious Generation, documenting our children's screen addictions and its effect on their health, he was asking the Grail question. But what is strange is that often the people who develop these new technologies are the same people telling us that it might just as well bring about a wasteland, warning us of how it might kill us as they themselves reach for the lands. How is it that Elon Musk warns that AI is more dangerous than nukes, first begs everyone to stop developing it, and finally starts his own AI company? Are you not all eager to ask who the Palantir serves? Who does it serve? I mean, we're not fools. We know that in the story from which the name Palantir was taken, in The Lord of the Rings, this technology came to serve only the Dark Lord Sauron. When the tech oligarchs are building bunkers on islands and prepping for doomsday, we should all be screaming, whom does this serve? Who is this for? There has been a lot of talk in the past decade about game theory escalation traps, where for reason of competition, certain technologies and systems, no matter how dangerous they might be, must be implemented. And not only implemented, but we race to implement them for fear of losing the competition. Of course, this was true of the nuclear arms race. It's what many now famously call the Moloch trap. And suddenly we're back in ancient stories, stories that are far older than the story of the Grail. Moloch, as many of you probably know, is an ancient Canaanite deity that demanded that people sacrifice their children in exchange for power. And the Moloch trap is when escalation to maintain power through competition causes us to sacrifice what is most precious, even when it is ultimately against our interests. So out of fear of China beating us at implementing AI, we sacrifice the millions of jobs, our water, our energy, our children's minds. In fact, we sacrifice the very capacity to distinguish what is real from what is false, just so we can win the competition. Now, of course, the game